Greetings, travelers. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, welcome to the channel. Thanks for stumbling across our little Digimon gameplay channel. We've got more footage of yours truly in action with Armour facing off against, unfortunately, DexDorugoramon, as we're going to see a Veemon and a blue Memboost to pick up the Armour for game 1 of the final round of the Jester Games 3v3, facing off against Brad from PGSC. Two content creator teams facing off against each other in the finals, and we're going to see a Digimon Emperor nice and early, which I want to be able to play, have the Veemon next, so we are going to push out and go for the, just let the Digimon Emperor take the 2 memory. We're going to evolve into Magnamon since it's not going to have too much value. Obviously, we do have to be careful because we could just get taunted, which is almost immediately what we're going to do. We're going to see an early push out, but as you'll see, currently the game plan for Armour versus Dex is hope they don't have it like that, and so far does not have it like that. So we will take our swing in. We're going to hit a Tyranno and live. Second blue Memboost. We are going to find the Awakening, but we are going to see our broken one of go to the bottom of the deck. Unfortunately, though, that Veemon that we have is the BT17 Veemon, so it cannot go over the Bukamon we got in the back. So not only are we on an off turn, but we also run the risk of getting potentially taunted. Let's see the training come down. Training find training. No, we're actually going to let the training go to the bottoms. We're going to take the Cracker Fang so that way it can get loaded up by the AG. And it looks like are we just going to drop it? Yeah, we're just going to drop the code Cracker Fang. Crack the boost to gain a little bit more. We're going to swing in. There's just no boosts, no power, no nothing really on this. We're just going to keep chipping in. We do hit a Dex, but we are bigger. Finally going to drop the Veemon, and then we're going to strip out the 2 sources. We're going to bounce the Ukamon so that way he doesn't get the off turn back, and so he doesn't get the Dex back in hand. That said, though, the Balmon is going to let him evolve from trash, which means we are once again getting taunted. But as you can see, the game plan has not changed. It's hope they don't have it, and for game 1, El Special de Brad, he just seems to be bricked. So 2 Ukamons hitting the field. We are forced to attack at start of main. There's a Dex, and then this should just be get ready to swing for game. We're going to go in with the Magna, and then we're going to swing, turn into the Magna, and the Magna is going to be unaffected. We are actually going to block it, but we do have 2 towers. We're going to see, like, in some instances, some people would scoop, but like this is a deck that really can do it unless you don't have the Dorogray once again, and that is going to be game 1.
Matrix Digivolution.
Don't you hate it when you're in this situation? Trying to find the number on the dice to show how much DP gain your card has received. It's also unreadable. Now let's take a look at if you had some lovely markers from Conquest Collectibles. Right here you can see it's a lot quicker, a lot simpler, and a lot more efficient. Not only that, but you are signing yourself up to some high quality resin handcrafted markers available in purple, yellow, green, both light and dark, black, orange, and many more to your liking. So grab yours today from Conquest Collectibles, links in the description.
Whilst we are getting shuffled up though for game 2, I do want to say a big old shout out to all the members that have been sticking it out through the 3v3s. We do have at the Mega Tier Justice Josh, who is an ultimate here on Twitch, as well as a Tier 3 on YouTube. I got that backwards. For our ultimates, we do have the Tommy NT, Tommy Tricks on the sticks, 3 strike roll, and Brad himself on the left. For our champions, Shinny Carry, also PGSC, Copy Deus, DHM, Solar Ouroboros, King of Knights, Andy Fing, Squid Eater, Benji Gibbert, Thomas Gates, and Kenneth Smith. And then for our rookies, we do have Greatness Beam, my teammate, Balfi, Bonsai Beard, and Turtle Sovereign. Then for the DigimonTCG, Jambo TCG, John Esposito, Rose Pierce, Christian Royal, Solon Descends, Yuxo, Evan Turner, Onyx Arlen, Walter Caceres, King Fujitoro, and new to the DGX, Jean Munoz. Looks like we're going to start off with the one choke with the Ukamon in the back, and we're going to go Davis play our only Veemon, because it's not a turn where we're expecting to get taunted. So we're okay committing our 1 rookie because nothing bad should happen to it there, and the chance to double hit was pretty big. Going to see the Tyranno come down, which is going to pick up a Luger, and then we are going to pitch off the DexDorugoramon. So I'm gaining 1 memory at the start. We're going to go into the Flamedramon, and then we're going to drop the Lightning Blade, which means we can go Raid Pierce, which is going to burn top card of, add top card of security to hand because the attack target was changed, and then we're going to pierce 1 thanks to the Lightning Blade. So a quick 2 check there in a way that Fire Rocket would not have been able to do because we would have had to pick between 2 checks and getting the security removed. This allows us to safely remove security as well as get a piercing check down, effectively allowing for 2 checks and passing low. We are, of course, going to get taunted at start of main, which means this Flamedramon, unfortunately, is just going to run these hands. And Lamau? We're just going to take a look at what is in trash in terms of the decks. And interestingly, I actually don't think the correct thing to do here is to raid. We should actually just swing in, so that way he has to at least spend the block. So that's actually what we end up doing, because he declares the block and lets him do it. This just allows the Dorugoramon to be sideways. I'm going to add the top card to hand, but I'm pretty sure this Dorugoramon should unsuspend here because a Digimon was deleted. It's ultimately, it's not going to matter because he's just going to unsuspend at start of main, but we've managed to chip out a decent amount of the sources. Problem is though, Codecracker Fang is going to get loaded from trash with the Lugamon. The Lugamon is then going to get to evolve into the Dorugamon from trash, which does mean that the big stack is getting taunted. He's picked the correct one here. If he'd gone into the Flamedramon, like, he's actually throwing the game. Because the Flamedramon would raid, bounce top card of security, give the protection to the Magnet, and just be able to swing. So by going this way, he gets to aggressively do it. And he's going to go into the DexDorugoramon early, rather than playing for the protection bait, just in order to get rid of the Flamedramon, so there's absolutely no chance of anything crazy happening. And now, the lower he can pass, the better here. So a training, analog youth. Just going to pass over the 2. Of course, we did lose the Davis thanks to the Dorugoramon coming down. So now we're going to swing in. No inherits, no nothing. This is going to be swinging just straight 12 into 13. So we are going to purge down. Veemon in the back. And we could give the Davis something, but also making... The problem is, like, making the Magnet X... In this instance, we actually might not get taunted, but we're passing him so much. And that's the thing that we're trying to figure out now. We're going to go into it for the full 5 cost, passing him 3 because he does have the Codecracker Fang and sources. Let's be real, we really do not have to worry about a mem choke. So just memory efficiency, it makes the most sense. And because there's no threat of a Luger pushing up and going Dorugamon for the taunt straight away, it just feels a little bit better for this turn to try and just establish the protected wall, even though the protection is going to fade by the time it matters. This also, like, we could have tried to go Davis play Veemon, but realistically, if a Dorugoramon comes down, it's just going to eat the Veemon straight away. So we're going to go for an analog youth here as we do look for a body, and we are going to pick up the Dex, and then... Wait, did we just send this to bottom of deck? So yeah, this should be in trash. Oopsie doops. Oh well, I mean, technically this is better for us if they're at bottom of deck. Fewer resources for Goro to use. And you can see he's kind of looking over, showing to the person next to him. In the 3v3 format, the way it worked is if you were player B, the team captain, you could assist either player to your side in order to help them with their games. Because each player will be playing a best of 3. And the winner of the best of 3 gets 1 point for their team, and that then you would be looking at 3 points overall, best of 3 overall. Keeping the Veemon in the back with the Digimon Emperor is pretty clean, so that's going to force us to swing in. Once again, part of me wonders whether we should have just let this stack die, because it just doesn't have the inherits, or like there's no draw power. It doesn't have anything of use to us here. And now that we've lost our Magnet X, we can't make the Pally. So what we're going to try and do here is we're going to try and see if we can bait out resources from them and then kind of just kill them with the... Just try and kill them with the Pally Ace. which is a novel idea. It's just, it's committing a lot of resources. So, team captain Shinny Carry helping him out here. And unfortunately for me, my team captain, Mr. Tricks on the Sticks, was making sure that Adam could clutch up his game. If you wanted to see Adam's game, you'll be looking, it'll be linked in the cards. It'll be 7 Demon Lords versus Pulsemon. So we are going to see the taunt come down, which is going to just try and full clear here. As we're building the magnet in the back, because we are taunted, it makes it really weird, because what we want to do is, I think we draw into another Magnet X. I think we draw into a Magnet X, so I think we just want to push up and make a Magnet X. Unfortunately, we just don't have the X antibody. If we had the X antibody, then I think we would have been able to play a little bit more aggressively, because we'd be able to swing on, like, swing and from combat step, try and actually, like, finish off the game. But just have not been able to find those extra checks. We are going to swing over the Magna with the DexDorugoramon, and then we're going to try and swing through, which then will get the clear. Actually, don't even swing through, it'll just evolve into DexDorugoramon. Gonna load up as we're gonna try and put the pressure on with Alliance. Loading up both Tamers here, which I'm kind of staring at those going, yeah, give me those Tamers in the sources, I'll get rid of all of them. I'm gonna hit Heavens here, and we do actually, we're unsure of what we need to get rid of, because unfortunately the Dex is, the Dex will get to unsuspend. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're gonna pick up the 2 targets, bottom deck the rest, and then we do get to trash one. So we're gonna trash off the Codecracker Fang, and we're gonna bring out the AG just because he still wants to keep 1 blocker in there. And now I think it is time to spend 9. We could push up and then try and Heavens, which would get the same sort of value as going. So we're just going to push up to try and establish a blocker here. Then we're going to get rid of everything. And then I think we're just going to put the Tamers to the bottom just to make them as useless as possible. In theory as well, we probably should have put the Dex there towards the bottom as well. But did not think about that. But even then, like, yeah, like in theory with 9 memory, he could try and dig pretty hard to get back down to them. So like the correct thing to do would be to, try and get rid of the Dexes as soon as possible. He's going to trash off with the Analog Youth there. Boogamon, and down comes the Demon Wolf. And you can see he rips it off the top. So I don't even think the order that we picked would have mattered, because he does just find it. The other thing that, because he kept the Tamer, it does mean that he would be able to go straight for Alliance. He's going to get the draw 1 off the Digimon Emperor, as the evolve into Dex to de-digivolve and pop is incredibly important. So he should just be able to swing, declare. I don't think he has collision, which is important. He just needs to, needs to make a collision body. And the other thing is, if he can get another Tamer underneath them or something, he needs a means of being able to make sure that he doesn't thingy. We are going to swing, and that's actually going to heal him 1 by going in, by getting rid of the source. And then we're going to swing Alliance over the sideways body, thanks to the collision, forcing it to be sideways, which is going to print the 5 memory. So, pretty solid way of extending here, as we are going to see the Terriermon come straight down to set up the blocker. And this is a situation where you got to wonder if maybe, like, scooping was the wave. But, yeah, we're going to come through for the 2, going to swing in for the last, it's going to steal 1, whoop-de-doo, and an empty board does mean that we are just going to go... Oh, we're gonna pass him the 1, effectively just going to let him take us in to what is going to be the end of that game, but not the end of the overall match. We still do have 1 more, of course, because it is the best of 3, and this, the deciding game. We can let you know that Shinny Carry finished this match pretty quick against Mr. Tricks. This was a very unfortunate pairing. I think that Dex versus Armour is like 9-1 in Dex's favor, and I mean Imperial versus the Armors, especially not one that can make a protected Magna X, is pretty rough. So Rapid did not have it like that. We are going to keep Veemon and a troop of Armors, because we're just going to keep it low to the ground. EX1 Veemon. We do draw the Lightning Blade, so it makes pretty much sense to just go Flamedramon here. Or are we going to go Lydramon first, so that way we can Flamedramon next? Shu Yulin early to go for the Memory Setter, just to give us the option. It means we don't just get... If we try to evolve for 2, there's a very real chance that he goes, like, evolve for 0 Digimon Emperor. You can see the Emperor in hand there, so, like, this at least lets us play around an Emperor. And actually get to make game actions. Yeah, it's passing a lot, but like, as you can see, like, we at least go to 3 here. So if we move up, it's still going to cost us, it's still going to cost us a turn, which is a bit annoying. But now we're going to commit the Veemon, which does find the Magnet X, which is pretty big. So now we've got a Veemon on board that will be able to attack next turn. He is giving us an Ukomon as well. So a potential raid target there is going to get the rehatch, of course, and the Luga goes in the back. This time he's going to swing in, does hit an Armour texture, but we have no Veemons in hand, unfortunately, because we didn't hit one off. So that way we don't get to make the extra body on board, which would have been pretty sick. Does mean the Ukomon lives, but it means we're not getting the burn one, we're just getting the pierce one. So we're going to go Lightning Blade and swing through it here, which is going to just pierce 1, does hit the Dex. And we're going to go Armor Texture into the Magnet X, which maybe we didn't need to, I think maybe Armor Texture into the Magnamon or into a Lydramon might have been more aggressive. Might have been like the correct way to do it. Gonna swing in, is gonna hit that single check. I think the idea is we wanted to give ourselves a Magnet X, which will still have the DP buff from having the Flamedramon in trash. And we wouldn't have been able to do that without, but we are gonna get taunted, so it actually high key does not matter. I think the problem is now that because we're low on Veemons, we do need to protect the stack as much as we can, because if we get caught on the back foot, we're kind of in trouble. So much shaking that I will try and take out for you. So if it's not shaky, give me a smiles. Give me a smiles in the comments, because woof. Out goes Shu Yulin, and she is going to get popped, and this is going to be... This might just be our full stack getting cleared here. We're going to swing in. Is going to block, which means it does go into the Dex to prevent deletion, which means we are going to block and then de-digivolve and clear, which is then going to get to spit out a body after we draw 1. Down comes the Tyranno. And despite making the Magnet X, it might just have been the wave was to just not build the Magnet X, because we don't know when we're going to see our next one, and we're going to go for a very expensive evolution in the back, because Code Crackerfang is right there. So yeah, it's possible that the correct play would have just been to play like low to the ground Armor style and go for the Lydramon. He has set up on board here, but because there's a Luga in the back, if we can't make... Even if we make them protected Magnet X, and we don't draw into Pally, then the game is kind of over. So we are forced to stay in back here and hope that he doesn't have it like that. We do have 4 security, so we are going to go Training Evolve for 1 into Doru Grey, load up the 2 Tamers for the Alliance target. And then we're going to go Demon Castle of the 9 Wolves to low pass to 1. A body in the back. 2 blockers here, so we will not be able to check security. If we see X antibody and we can swing go into Magnet X, then we do have game. Or like we have the ability to threaten pretty hard. We slow him down for another turn. But again, Luga in the back just means that we're probably getting taunted. It is at least the Balbon that is you have to pitch to evolve rather than Tame and go under, evolve from trash. And you can see we do have the Magnet X in hand, but we don't have the X antibody. So we're just going to make it in the back because the protection really doesn't matter if we're playing into taunt. Turn 0 is going to start right as Brad is going to start, and he is going to try and see if he can lock things out here, not even give me the chance to push up and make a menace. So I think we have a Blinding Ray or something in hand. So we would be able to give some sort of protection and try and chip him down and just see if we can last out the overtime. They are just trying to figure out their line. We are going to play the Lugamon. The Inherits are going to bring it back. We're going to load up the Alliance to swing for the 2 checks. X Antibody's going to snatch 1, but it's not going to matter. Lugamon is going to go in, is going to hit the Magnet X, which does mean we are going to unsuspend, which means we are going to get to play a Luga. Alliance in for the biggest check, and it is going to be DexDorugoramon taking it meaning with Shinikari picking up the win, Team PGSC will be your Just the Games 3v3 champions. If you like what you saw and you do want to see more, look forward to regular gameplay coming back to the channel. No more 3v3 stuff. Big thank you to Just the Games for hosting. And as always, have yourselves a damn good one.